Alright, I had a really bad experience cutting oak because I didn't know that oak can cause health problems. Just cutting it, cutting the bark off of it, just having contact with it, fresh oak maybe. I did know about 20 years ago that crushing leaves and breathing in the air from the crushed leaves will cause intense griping in the intestines. That was a horrible experience. Crushing leaves, the crushed leaves of oak just caused a terrible pain in my gut. But that was 20 years ago. I just wanted to crush some leaves, and then I've been away from oak, from working with oak in any way for 20 years. And recently now I've been trying to cut exercise equipment. So I found this piece, and I got another piece in the back where I've been cutting this oak to shape into a piece for exercise. I use it for putting my foot on it. I lay this on the front of the car and put my heel on it. It's a comfort for my foot for stretching out my legs. But the processing of this, the cutting off of the bark, and I don't know, maybe just even the drilling itself was causing particles in the air for me to breathe, and I started experiencing heart issues, just a rapid heartbeat at night. And it took at night. It took me to fall asleep, and it took a while. It was not immediate, and I was confused. What could it be? I was confused for a while. I was blaming my diet. I was smelling in the air, if there's pollution in the air. I was wondering what all the factors were. It took me a while to think about the factors. I mean, I was kind of even blaming peanuts a little bit. Peanuts have kind of given me a problem. Nuts have given me problems. But always in the back of my head, the oak was largely suspicious. Not maple. I got a ton of maple back here, all these sticks. Not pine, not even the other woods, trees. Oak. It caused me to pee a lot. I had to poop at 3 a.m. I had a burning sensation in my chest. My heart was just rapidly beating. Like, it beat rapidly so much that it just got stiff. And I couldn't, I felt like if I were to exercise, I was going to die. It was causing so much problem. And I was away from the internet yesterday, most of the day, and that night. So I really couldn't research this until recently. But people don't talk about oak, just working with oak. I looked on the internet and it talked about livestock eating it, and how livestock only needs to eat 6% of the oak to die. The acorns or the leaves, maybe even the bark. Sheep, cattle, all that. Well, just handling it is dangerous. Okay, there's tannins in this oak. I still have some bark, some inner bark. This is the main wood. I think there's tannins in the wood too, but in the inner bark, the outer bark, the inner bark, the leaves. I'm not so scared now it was while working with it that I was exposing myself. It was a fallen tree, kind of fresh. I think that I could probably, I probably won't have any problems now. This is, I'm going to keep my oak, but I did suffer a little bit working with it, feeling like I was going to die, and kind of just not knowing exactly what the problem was, but now realizing it after some research. You don't play around with oak. You have to assume that all oak is poisonous. Okay, it's kind of hard to believe. It's a hard wood. You think it's just a tree. What does it need to be all poisonous for? It produces tannins that make it very bad, and made me suffer working with it, cutting it. I still want to cut into it. I still want to drill a hole. It's drying out. See, it was kind of a fresh oak because it's cracking. I can accept some crack. Maple doesn't crack too bad. I expect oak to be okay, a little crack. But I want to continue to drill to lighten this up. Oak is a heavy wood, but I'll be exposing myself to more, because I'm using this to drill in there to drill the holes. So I was making small particles of oak that were blowing into my nose, drilling in. It takes, I mean, you turn the whole piece, the whole wood into just little pieces, little kindling pieces, and they get wafted around in the air. And that was what how the pathway that I don't believe it soaked through my skin. I think that it was breathed in, and that was causing the problem. But I just want to make note that oak is much more dangerous than I thought. And it doesn't matter, white oak, red oak, whatever. It's all got that tannin that can cause you to die. It causes sheep and cows to die if they have a chance to eat the acorns or the leaves. Squirrels are okay, but even just handling oak is a danger. Stripping the bark off and then cutting into the wood exposes you to some real dangers you got to be very careful of.